Welcome everyone to the TFO 2024 regular season recap! Woo! I hope you're all pumped to the gills, because tonight we have some epic adventures to talk about. The entire 2024 season. It's ended, it's done, and we are looking towards the playoffs. So tonight we will go over what happened this regular season, who's moving on to the playoffs, who's not, who are the MVP players. We're even going to talk fantasy football and predict the playoffs ourselves. And when I say ourselves, I'm not talking about just the voices in my head. I am here with an esteemed pro panel tonight. First off is myself, the greatest ever Tecmo commissioner ever. Suck it, Bobby. I have been doing this for 12 years. Excellency. That's me, so visit me. Woo! But I'm also joined by my TNF co-commentating partner, King Zavrel. King Zavrel, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great. I love the picture you chose for me here.
I went to your the last highlight you had. I need an image
That's
now.
Amazing. Wow.
And in preparation of this, I watched some of Art Donovan's commentary on the King of the Ring for WWF back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's bad.
It was
it's
bad, and that's why you're here, obviously. So, but I mean,
yeah,
actually,
I am the Art Donovan.
You have 2 years of commentating experience with us, though, because you did help last year, but this is your first year, so we're looking to bring your rookie perspective to this pro panel. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And also joining us is the dynamic duo. You just heard them on Sunday night, Tecmo. It's Clayton and Jobber. How are you guys doing tonight?
Well, one of us is doing better than the other.
Someone's got to sing songs.
One last message.
Yes, this is true. And yes, thank you, Boss. Remind everybody to eat at the Federal.
Oh, yeah.
110 West Federal, Youngstown, Ohio.
Exactly. Buildings are blowing up left and right around them, but hey, the Federal's still there.
Hey, I'll tell you this. When you eat at the Federal, you don't blow up.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right. You're safe from blowing up when you eat at the Federal.
You eat at Taco Bell, explosions all night. You eat at the Federal, you sleep like a baby.
Damn straight.
So, but I expect your guy. Oh, wow, another boss.
All of you, eat at the Federal.
I wanted you guys here because of your eliteness. You guys have been here. You were here in the very first season of TFO 2013. Wow, it's so long ago. And both of you gentlemen have been to the dance. Clayton with his WWF Superstars in Season 2 and Jobber with his Marvel Mutants in Season 9. So I look to you guys for your professional opinion here on this professional panel. And the more times I say professional, the more times that people are going to buy it.
Well, you know, you ask for professionals and you get professionals. Professional TFO owners, professional TFO commentators.
Not a professional anything.
Well, that's, you know, hey, that's, you speak for yourself, Jobber. I maintain myself to be a professional.
Now, my question for you guys, I made this beautiful image of you combined. What is that name? Is it Clayton? Get it? Clayton, because it's Clayton and John combined? Or is it Jayton?
Ooh.
I think we go with fuck you, Raj.
Fuck you, Raj. Thank God you guys can't have a baby together.
Beautiful name.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Hey, you know, Fuck the Raj is a previous TFO MVP. That's the truth.
That's right.
And another one is Raj is a pussy. Great TFO MVPs from the past.
We got the name Clobber coming up in the chat, by the way.
Clobber. It's clobbering time. Clobber. And Bobby talking about how much he loves the Federal, 110 West Federal, Youngstown, Ohio. Oh, before we get into the season standings, I want to point out to the left side there, the little banner that shows the Ramu Bowl. That's the Season 12 championship that will be taking place August 10th. Right now, 16-bit has given me a perspective hold on that date. So unless there's an issue with our contract coming up, it should all be good. But we're going to record that live at the 16-bit bar here in Columbus, Ohio, and then we'll be posting it the day after on YouTube. I've been toying with the idea of doing a live Twitch and then playing it, but like being live while it's being played. So we'll see how it all works. So, but exciting.
And keep in mind, as a result of the last game of the season here, previously to this broadcast on TFO Sunday Night Tecmo, yours truly, Clayton Willis, a.k.a. Rusty Shackelford, will be singing karaoke style to the song of Mr. John Jobberman's choice here.
While inebriated, I hope, right?
Ooh, what's this?
Inebriation. I want to make sure you're
100%.
inebriated when the song is being sung.
First rule of thumb for me, if you see me in public, I'm probably inebriated.
Yay.
Sorry to hear that, JVM. We would have loved to have had you, man. That's why we record it, so you guys will be able to see it.
That's right. Emotional fucking damage.
Well, let's get over the emotional damage and let's talk about the season standings here. You just said the last game played, so now we have all of the results in, and so now we are ready to discuss the finale of the 2024 season here and who's moving off to the playoffs. I have a little short video I'm going to play here. This is the video that plays at the end of the season. Some divisional champions will be shown because they weren't shown at the end of their game because they tied. So they show right during this video. But after the video, we're going to take a moment, guys, and we're gonna talk about the video. They'll hear us while the video is playing, by the way, but I don't think that matters. So let's go to the video. I hope it plays. Why is that not playing? It didn't play, did it?
No.
Dang it.
I saw something there. I saw a
Yeah, I know what I saw. Here, you know what? I can do this because I don't really care. Add a media source. And
sounds like you got the same guys in your truck as I had in mine all fucking season.
You know what? They never listen to me ever.
They don't. And they're never ready. They're never ready when you tell them to hit the music.
You know what? I think I can just...
That's what happens when you get Vince Russo on your production team.
You know what? After watching that, hey, by the way, I did watch that third episode.
Did, huh? Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole new perspective on Vince Russo.
Yeah, right.
Woo.
Oh my God, it's so bad. It's crazy, dude. That whole thing.
Oh no, I don't like what's doing there. Okay, hold on. I'm almost ready. Keep talking. This conversation's great.
Okay,
Right.
we'll turn this into a Who Killed WCW talk for a minute because oh my God, I had checked out of WCW and actually probably most of wrestling in general, watching it by the time that stuff started happening. So I never really saw any of the Vince Russo era of WCW. Watching that third episode and seeing some of the stuff they did, holy crap.
Yeah. Dude, it's insane. Like, absolutely insane.
They put the strap on David Arquette.
And why wouldn't you, damn it?
Because he's not a wrestler. That's why you wouldn't do it.
And then they took it off of him, like, I think it was the week after or something?
It was like a week. And then he's just like, maybe you should give it to Booker T. And then Vince Russo listened to him and said, yeah, sure, we'll give it to Booker T.
Isn't
Should
it
have just
crazy?
went to Booker to begin with.
Not that Booker T didn't deserve it. Booker T is a top level talent who always deserved that strap. But just I don't know, the whole way it happened just seems ridiculous.
So bad. It is so bad. Like, oh my god. And then there's like the whole Bash at the Beach controversy too. So it's like, oh my god, it's crazy. The whole thing was insane, dude.
Well, why did it do that?
Uh-oh.
I don't know, Raj.
Why is it doing that? Can you tell me that?
It swerved us.
Fix it.
Who's
You're letting it run a reverse, Raj. Don't let it run the reverse.
Whose house?
Tecmo's house.
Say what? Okay, there we go. That's it.
All in.
I gotta put that one there. And then I gotta put that one there.
Okay.
I think I got it. Let's see. Tell me if it goes to the next scene here. Why didn't I go to the next scene?
I see.
It didn't go to the next scene.
Yeah, I was just watching.
It's TNF season 12 final. Woo!
Woo!
There's a border that keeps popping up.
Yep, the border keeps moving around a little bit.
Oh, I think I know what I accidentally did. There we go.
Oh,
there it is. What do you got now? You got rid of the image. There it is. Now it just says TNF season 12 final.
Thursday. Oh, I didn't know it was Thursday again.
Woo!
Man, that week went by
say
quick.
TNF. I gotta fix
No.
that. Too.
TNF is tonight night football.
Oh yeah, tonight. Oh shit! JVM saying that David Arquette is eating at the Federal.
Oh yes, 100%. Oh hey, there we go.
Oh hey, okay.
But why does it
says woo at the bottom? Woo!
But it shouldn't have done that.
Letterkenny Irish. Woo!
Oh.
Styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet plane flying, Letterkenny Irish.
Jet playing.
Woo!
Jet playing?
Jet playing. They played Jet by Wings.
Oh, okay, sure.
A jet plane, flying on a jet plane.
Like John Denver.
Yeah.
More borders are coming.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, I think I got it. Ready?
Wait.
Yes, Mr. Cena.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, it's
I didn't see anything.
audio. Congratulations, Letterkenny Irish. You won your division.
Letterkenny Irish.
Woo! They were fighting the Greek legends tooth and nail. But here is for the bad.
All right.
And an amazing soundtrack, too.
Oh, Mighty Ducks lynching that one.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Why is Lord of Cinder's third? Wait a minute.
Well, they're just last in their division. You're not
Greek
last
legends.
overall.
We're also second.
And the Gladiators made it. The Gladiators made it.
Slid in there, right?
Wow.
Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? 2 teams?
That's hilarious.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You hate that division so bad.
Oh my God.
Clayton,
How?
hold on. No spoiler alerts. Remember, you had issues with this earlier tonight.
We just showed it. You just showed it right there. It just told me.
It showed it? Where did it show it at? I didn't see it.
In the divisions, it has a mark.
I'm watching.
You mean these divisions right here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you wait till we get to that. I got something to say about that.
Words.
Oh.
So let's talk about the bad first. The badass snap division, the Mighty Ducks. Since the very first game, the TFO universe has been behind the Mighty Ducks and their quack attack. And they have dominated this season. They are the #1 seed in the badass, I believe. And Strudel Squad, very respectable 10-6. If they were in any other division, they probably would have won their division. But the quack attack, really, really strong. What do you guys think of this division?
I think it's a pretty good division right here. I mean, you got the Mighty Ducks who are like 5th in like the total offense of this whole thing. I mean, that I think you're looking at the numbers here. It shows that they are a pretty good offensive game, but they also back it up with a good defense. Second all around defense in the bad section. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely looks like defense is what carried him most of the way through this season here. Only 440 points scored against them all season long. So, yeah, that's going to be what's going on here.
Oh no,
in the
I was putting
corner now?
Jobber's face up there because I have it. I don't have yours, Clayton, because you're like John Cena.
Fair enough.
John,
I am like John Cena. You're right, Rod.
Corner.
I am like John Cena. You're correct.
no
sir.
respect, right? You're the Rodney
No
Dangerfield
respect.
of TFO.
Oh,
I'm
like a little
built like a brick shit house.
I feel bad for Dexter Dooley. Dexter did great this season, and the Logs just barely missing out.
You and me both, brother, man. He just really poured the offense on, and their defense just couldn't do anything.
I feel like that's the only thing they had was Dexter. All right, let's go to the bad ass crackle, where previous TFO champion wannabe Ballers going 10-6. If I remember correctly, Craig got to pick his division, and man, did he take advantage of that, putting 3-13 teams. One of them being you, King Zavarel. Zav, how did you feel about? And both of you guys are rookies. So how did you feel about this rookie season, this initiation, if you will?
I felt it was fantastic being one of the best rookie teams in TFO history.
What up, Scars?
You know, it is. It's one of those things that, you know what, he played a very smart move in picking two rookie coaches that don't really know what they're doing. I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing.
Yep.
You know,
Some would call that a Bush League move. Some would call that like, dodging good competition. But hey, that's some people.
Hey, you know what?
It's not the Ric Flair way of you got to beat the man to be the man.
Exactly.
But hey, you got to pick some wins up against jobbers too, you know?
Look, even if you consider those two teams jobbers, right? That's 6 victories right there. So did he only get 4 other victories outside of the conference? That would worry me, especially when you got a team like the Mighty Ducks, who played 2 really good teams 6 times, and they're 14-2. I'm afraid the wannabe Ballers are going to think that they're bigger than they really are.
Yeah,
exactly.
Too big for their boots situation. Gonna go forward. They may not last in the stand or in the brackets coming forward, but we'll get to that.
Well, speaking about not lasting, let's talk about the badass pop where Letterkenny Irish tied it up there at the end there with the Greek Legends, but based on differential, they will win the division. Greek Legends 12-4. They're going to go ahead and take that wild card. This was a pretty good division too. Yacht Rock and Rap shows is 3-13, but they were a lot better than their record is showing. When you got 2 12-4s in your division, that's the hard life.
Yeah.
Well, you say the Yacht Rock and Rap was better than they look, but that's almost 700 points of scoring against
Go listen to your
them.
country music, you little man.
Yeah.
What an insult, right?
Exactly.
Especially if Clayton's like twice my size.
They need to figure out whether or not, the Yacht Rock is going to keep going. Maybe they could just go with the Rap next year,
He was Rap Kings previously.
Yacht Rap, though.
Rap Kings was one of his teams.
Well, then there you go. Go back to the Rap Kings. You got it better. Go back to like some old school 90s stuff. You got your Jizza, your RZA, your Method Man, your Old Dirty Bastard. Go with make it a Wu-Tang.
Anything Def Jam Vendetta, baby.
Wu-Tang Yacht.
You could have a whole defensive line just made out of Old Dirty Bastard aliases.
All right,
well, baby Jesus.
Well, that
that's another thing though. You just said something about how their record shows or doesn't really show how good they are. But the thing is, to add into that is more points than Double Entendres and also Lords of Cinder have let get scored against them.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the badass. So let's go down to the bad guy here. Or wait, I'm sorry. I have the badass playoff brackets right here. I'm sorry. So the Ducks are the #1 seed, so they will play the winner of the wild card matchup. My plan is to do the wild card next week, probably Saturday, like 10 a.m. to whenever we finish. So that'll be Strudel Squad taking on the Greek Legends. Winner of that's going to face the Mighty Ducks. And then up at the top, we have the current champion, the Letterkenny Irish. They're going to be facing previous champion wannabe Ballers. So that, I think, is an amazing match. That's probably the worst case scenario for the Ballers there. I just talked about that they're probably pitching out of their league. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's a previous champ, but I think Letterkenny's been really strong this season.
Oh, yeah. And also, you know what? Letterkenny Irish is not a team to sleep on this season. And want to be Ballers, you know, once again, we were just talking about it. That just they had it's the college rom division in this side, you know.
Oh my god. High school ROM. Oh my god.
They had the high school ROM. So, you know, I don't see Ballers really pulling it against the Letterkenny Irish this year.
Yeah, definitely the underdog in that matchup. Strudel squad, you know, versus the Greek legends. That one's a bit more of a coin flip, honestly. Yeah. Strudel squad's been really good all season long. Hunter Magnet and Subversive Interloper, really one of the better combinations in the TFO. But Greek legends really gave Letterkenny Irish a run for their division right up until the last week. So that looks to be a really good matchup. And then again, you know, whichever one of them has to play the Ducks, another great matchup.
Well, let's go over to the bad guy. And in the bad guy, we have the NES Doodads winning the bad guy snap there with 10-6, outlasting American Gladiators by 1 victory, but Gladiators sliding in there with that wild card. It was a very contested wild card there at the end too. The Destroyers were actually involved, but they slipped up right at the end. But it's, to me, I'm glad to see the American Gladiators get back in it. They lost Final Four against the Time Variants. They had a really good squad last year. They had a stumbling at the beginning of this season, but they really, just like when you're on that pugilist pillar, right? It looks like you're going to fall off. You're having a bad time. You replant that foot, and then you just start hitting the dude over and over again with the earwax stick. And that's exactly what they did.
The earwax stick.
Yeah, the big earwax stick, right?
Yeah, the pugil stick.
Stick.
Yeah, NES Doodads having clinched a couple weeks ago. American Gladiators really were just kind of fighting for that wild card spot. Even with a negative point differential, they've definitely done well all year. I'm interested to see what they're able to do in the playoffs.
Well, let's go over to the bad guy Crackle here, Clayton's favorite division. Where we have, hey, look, that last game of the last week, you had 007 taking on the Villains of Cinema, and the winner was going on, the loser wasn't, we thought, and then in the end, Villains of Cinema snuck in with that last wild card out of nowhere.
This is fucking garbage. This entire division has been sub 500 or below the entire year.
That's because they're so close.
Not at any point all season long has any of these teams been above 500.
It's not about domination. It's about lasting.
Emotional damage.
This division didn't deserve 1 playoff spot, much less fucking 2.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
Wait, you say that, but that 7-9 beats out. Well, first off, by differential, they beat out the Destroyers there. The Destroyers were also 7-9, so they could have got it, but they had a negative differential. Villains of Cinema also do, but it's less than theirs. And then in the bad guy pop, another 7-9. The Frat University, they were in the mix there too. You have 3 teams tied for that last wild card. If Frat could have won that last game, they would have just got it. But instead, Villains of Cinema win by attrition. And then let's not forget Lord of the Rings. They have been just such a good team ever since coming into the TFO, and they continue their dominant ways with another division win.
So what you're saying is this is definitely the college ROM.
No, I think the parry of how equal these teams are. Anything can happen in TFO, and that's exactly what this is showing us.
Very true.
So
he hates this division so much.
And then let's look at this here. We got the Lord of the Rings getting that #1 seed. They're going to be playing the winner of the Villains of Cinema against American Gladiators wildcard matchup. And then up at the top, you got the NES Doodads. They're going to take License to Kill. I mean, honestly, I know Clayton isn't a real big fan of Cinema or I'm a big fan of License to Kill and Cinema. I think they're great teams. But to me...
No. I don't have a problem with the teams themselves. I have a problem with their performance. and them all being clumped together in the same shitty division.
Oh my God. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and look at the MAD, but we are going to take a break first. So for this break...
We're going to need one. I need a drink.
Oh, good. Well, for this break, I went ahead and reached out to a very good friend. We're going to talk about it after the break anyway, but little spoiler here. Bobby Lesher, previous TFO champion with his Tiger Kings, he took his VOT International this year and did something no other team ever in TFO history has done. All 12 seasons, no one has ever gone undefeated. And that's exactly what he did. So he sent us a little video package so that we can bask in his glory. So go ahead and watch this, guys, and when we come back, we'll talk about the MAD. Well, that's not what I want.
No.
Why did I do that?
Well, that was great.
Oh, you know, I need to...
Good job. Great.
Good job, Bobby.
Great message, Bobby.
I got to
Great
push
message.
the commercial button. Hold on, I got this now.
Hello, TFO owners. It is I, Bobby, owner of Vault International, the only undefeated team in TFO regular season history. First, I'd like to say thank you to Raj for running the league as the commissioner of TOL. I know all the work that goes into this, and I definitely appreciate it. So thank you very much, Raj, for everything you do. Second, I'd like to take some time to thank John Baylog, Frank Baylog, Chris McLeese, David Bitzer, and all the TFO legends that came before me and decided to quit because they knew that they could not compete with my greatness. And to quote Homelander, I don't make mistakes. I'm not like the rest of you TFO owners. I'm a stronger team builder. I'm smarter. I'm better. I'm better than all TFO owners, including you, Mike Petrosic. And now, I sit and gaze upon the rest of you mere mortals with shame and disappointment as I sit upon my throne of greatness, awaiting a challenge. And there's nothing out there. Maybe Mike, but we'll get to that. Actually, that's the next thing we're going to get into here is I'm going to give you a little breakdown of how I see things going in the other realm. So Mike's side of the bracket, where Letterkenny is, that is going to be a really good playoff bracket. First matchup I think we have is Greek Legends versus Strudel Squad. This is going to be a great game. Two good running teams. Greek Legends has one of the best teams this season. I definitely think they could go all the way. Strudel Squad, they've had some ups and downs. I think they'll keep this game close, but Greek Legends end up winning this one, maybe by 9 to 10 points, something like that. Next matchup is Wannabe Ballers versus Letterkenny. Now, these two have played in the playoffs before, and I believe it was season 9. Actually, Letterkenny started their season with a loss to the Ballers and ended their season with a loss to the Ballers when the Ballers went on to win the championship that season.
I prayed for this and it
time.
happened.
I think Letterkenny's too good. They're going to go in there and win that game. Wannabe Ballers will keep it close, but I think Letterkenny pulls it out in the end. Then we're going to have the Ducks versus the Greek Legends. And I think this is where the Greek Legends are going to win again. Ducks have been really good all season. Second best team all year. But I think the Greek Legends are going to pull off that upset. Letterkenny versus Greek Legends. That's going to be the fourth matchup between those two. I've got Letterkenny winning that one. I just think they're too good. The other side of that ROM, we have really just Lord of the Rings and NES doodads. These teams just played a couple weeks ago. Great game. Lord of the Rings won by a field goal. I see them winning again. Probably another close game. That's going to set up.
Are you sure about
Lord
that?
of the Rings, and I'm going to take Letterkenny. And Letterkenny will play against yours truly in the most epic TFO championship ever. The last two TFO champions playing against each other. And who's going to win? well, you're going to have to watch and find out.
more tea. Have the sweet tea. Drink it.
One last message for all of you. Eat at the Federal.
All right, we are back after that total ego trip that we got to win. Clayton, tell us what you think about that video package we just saw from the undefeated Bobby.
Make it in the toilet.
Well, he's got the room to have that ego. He's the first undefeated team in TFO history. There's been 12 seasons of TFO. He's the first guy to do it. I think he's got the room to talk because he's backed it up.
And you know what? You of anyone know how that works because you once held the record of most victories in a season. I believe you went 14-2 with the Adult Swim one season.
Yes.
So,
and then unfortunately the season after that I
Took a reverse.
took a reverse and got the other record on the other end, the one you don't
the
want.
0-16.
That's correct.
We've had a few teams that have gone 0-16. You're not alone in that. I think there's 3 or 4. But yeah, this is the first time anyone's ever been undefeated. It's a pretty momentous task. So Bobby, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, congrats, Bobby.
And let's talk about Bobby's ROM here, the Mad ROM. I have a video for this. That's right. Now let's see if I can figure out how to play the video. So image.
You need to take the image down first.
Yes. Is that this one? Yes. Oh no,
There you go.
I can just put the video over top of it. Bam.
Oh.
Aha.
Oh, what?
Ooh.
Nice.
Boom, like that.
Oh, wait.
And here is the Mad.
Oh.
Look at them
Stallions
Italian
get it.
Stallions. Oh. Adrian.
They really were going. They went to the mat. Who gives a shit about
Oh
this
man,
shit?
they dominated their
They
division.
went to the
crap
mat
teams that were
against
there.
AEW. Like them and AEW really flip flopped like 2 or 3 times in the last few weeks.
Oh, wow.
Congrats to the '80s toys too. Them and Battle Cat, man. Jeez,
Yeah,
over
Battle Cat
700
really killing
points.
it.
Over 700 points of offense. The '80s toys. And the High Company,
The
dude,
High Company.
Coming out of
coming
nowhere.
from last place all season long. Been in the bottom all season, and in the last week they won it. Incredible.
Last day of it was High Company 420 where they smoked everyone's ass.
Garbage Pail Kids grabbing a wild card
All
spot
elite
there.
missing out, man.
Dude, oh, that's rough.
The shit
And the
Nami coming
shits,
in there.
the shits of
The
Leahy
shits of
actually
Leahy
got
snuck
in there.
in.
Lahi. Look at the Marvel Mutant sneaking in there with a wild
really?
card.
We got to see the mutants, and this is crap.
Well, they might get gunned down in the wild card game.
Oh.
That's a good point. The Second Amendment.
They're all 7-9. Tell me how much you hate this division.
Wow.
That division was fine.
Wait a minute. What?
They were all equal.
So they're all 7-9. They're okay.
They didn't have the rookie. They didn't have the 2 rookies in there.
They have as many wins as the division he hated.
That division had a weed team. They're fine.
Okay, so here let's.
It was weed. It was literally a team about weed, D&D, and music. So I don't really give a fuck.
It's
about
fine.
their
They were
their
high
record.
most of the season. That's why they lost.
They get a pass. They get a pass.
They were puff pass.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, so let's talk about the Mad Dog Snap here, where everybody's favorite Cocaine Mule Cat in the Sunday Nights coming from behind. The Garbage Pail Bunch had the lead of this division early on, but they were overtaken by the Sunday Nights. Both of them will be making. Unfortunately, the Argentina Assassin won't be going to play.
Oh.
This is how you know this isn't rigged. Because if this was rigged, Juan would have been the undefeated team. That's how that would have worked.
Fair.
TFO is
enough.
not rigged. It's predetermined.
TFO bribes.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, congratulations, Anthony Moore. I love the Sunday Nights. I love that. I actually love the Garbage Pail Bunch a lot too. Their helmet's just great and their team's great.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them both.
Yeah. Sunday
Yeah,
nights, I
hopefully-
mean, that is such a fun
hopefully the-
team. Oh,
Yeah, and, hopefully they were tuning in. No, hopefully the Sunday nights were tuning into TFO Sunday Night Tecmo because there were definitely a few new options for them to choose from. For those that don't know, the Sunday nights are basically a team of misidentified players from the Sunday night team, formerly JB and FK of Sunday Night TFO Sunday Night Football, but we've made a few up of our own. Yuki Tsunoda of the winning formula have identified as a former NJPW champion numerous times, even though I'm fairly certain he's a Formula One driver.
Yes.
I think that is the gimmick, isn't it?
Oh my God. Let's move on here. The Mad Dog crack on Italian stat. Now, All Elite Wrestling had a very early lead. I think they may have been 5-0 to begin the season or something like that.
They did jump out. They did jump out to a real good start.
But just like the real AEW, right? They started off hot for a few years, and then they started to have a little weavy wires here. And Italian Stallions took total advantage of that and actually knocked them out of the playoffs here. It's sad to see a 50-50 team not making it, but them's the breaks sometimes.
And you know what? You look at that point differential right there as well. And, oh, God.
Yeah, the negative. Hey, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose by a lot, I guess.
Yep.
Exactly. Now, one thing I will say is, like, while I do enjoy watching AEW, I got to say, if any of the Rockies are playing on another channel, I'm changing the channel.
Adrian! Hey, it was Rocky Balboa Jr., right? They were quarterback was injured this week. So the backup had to come in and get the job done, and I think they lost.
They did lose.
But they didn't lose as bad as All Elite did, and that gave them the
correct.
Yeah.
True Rocky story, getting into the playoffs with a loss.
With a loss. They lost, but they're still an American hero.
It's Rocky 3 psychology, right? You lose, and then you get this big comeback during the playoffs.
Or wasn't that the first one? I thought
it's all Rocky lost. We're describing every single Rocky ever made now.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
In the Mad Dog Pop, we talked about it already. VOT International 16-0, just impressive.
Wow.
And the Shitnami just sneaking in there. The Shitsalehi, they're the reason that the AEW team got knocked out. So hopefully they've had an amazing offense, just a shitty defense. So maybe they can make it click here during the playoffs.
Well, you know, Leahy and his shit analogies have managed to work up a positive point differential here with their 8-8 record. So, you know, that goes to show you, you know, you can't forget about defense. You have to be able to get that more points. Like a good friend of mine, John Madden, used to say, you have to score more points if you want to win the game.
Yes. And you know, we just had VOT International going against football team earlier, or actually, what was it? Yesterday, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was this week.
Yesterday, who did?
Yeah.
It was definitely.
And that's where, that 16-0 right there. Just they had the chance to go and to screw things up, but
I'm a big fan of football team. I know people are very harsh on football team and they don't get the gimmick. I love it. I think it's just, I mean, what sucks is that they really played their gimmick.
No.
They really played their gimmick.
No. Football team's not a gimmick. That's a lack of a gimmick.
That's the gimmick.
That's not a gimmick.
You met Orange Cassidy? They're the Orange Cassidy of TFO.
Whoa, you leave Orange Cassidy alone, you bastard.
Yeah, exactly. You leave freshly squeezed out of this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right,
one of my best friends.
Let's go. Here is the playoff picture here. We're going to have VOT taking on the winner of the wild card, the bunch against the shit. And then the Italian Stallions are going to have to go up against the Sunday Knights. And then the winner of that is going to have to take on VOT International. So from this bracket, there's only one previous TFO champion, but he's the one at 16-0.
I love the bracket bunch of Leahy International. I thought when I first read it, I thought it said bunch of shit international.
They got nothing on IHOP, right?
Nothing on them. Bali.
Well, good luck to all of these teams. Let's go ahead and see the Mad Max standings here. Here we got the Snap division. We just watched the last Snap game where the Marvel Mutants did pick up a victory, and they needed it. That pushed, actually, I believe I did the math earlier with Scott Steiner, and we found whether Marvel won or lost, they would have been in the playoffs, but they had to win their game by 50 points. And the TV dads did not allow that to happen. So instead of winning the division, they only get a slice of the pie at wild card. TV dads, do you feel slightly responsible for the Marvel Mutants not winning their division?
In a way. I mean, we could have shit the bed more and let them get those 50, but yeah, we didn't.
Will the TV dads be back? I'm a big fan of the TV dads. I think you have a lot of depth and there's a lot of possibilities of bringing in talent. But I know that you like to switch it up every once in a while. What are your thoughts as the TV dad owner? 5-11. You were looking good at the beginning of the season, but it feels like some of these series got canceled mid-season, and it led to some disastrous effects.
They didn't get canceled. They got reversed.
They got reversed.
I feel like the TV dads may have been distracted through the season. You know, they're dads. They got dad stuff to do. You know, they got to teach kids to ride bikes, warn kids about the dangers of smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and stuff. Some of them have to, well, instead of warn kids about drugs, they have to cook some drugs in order to support their medical bills and aspirations.
Dads sometimes got to do what they got to do.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes it's not play football. So
are you reevaluating your contract with them?
No, the TV dads will in fact return next year.
Yeah. What about
there
this?
may be some roster shakeups.
What about this? TV dads and moms.
TV doodads.
TV families.
TV fam.
No. I think I'm going to stick with TV dads. I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel Mutants, you are going to the playoffs. How do you feel? What? He's so loud, I heard him just for a second there, and then the mic was like too loud. Which is funny because we can never hear Jobber anyway.
Right. Playoffs.
Woo, playoffs. There we
Are we
go.
talking about playoffs now?
Playoffs.
We're talking about playoffs.
Well, now we can because you're in the playoffs.
Oh.
It's not 4 games into the season.
My record was terrible this year. I should have done better.
I think everybody feels that way in some way sometimes, right? So.
Yep.
All right, well, let's check out the Mad Max Crackle here. The I said TO. The 80s toys, 12-4, they ended up tying with Second Amendments here, but their differential is massive. Both of these teams have massive differentials.
I'll point out 747 offensive points is more than the undefeated Vought International scored.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
In fact.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we can go back.
We can look at that.
728, 371.
740 something.
Vought International has.
So 80s toys have scored more points against opponents, but opponents have scored more points against the 80s toys than Vought International.
Yeah. You know, and it comes down to that whole defense we were talking about earlier. Defense is a big deal as well. And it looks like Vought International has the defense to go along with the offense.
Yeah, you got to have good D. I love a good D. I love it.
Good hard D.
Good hard D, that's right. And then
good hard D that doesn't fail you.
So let's talk about... This division has no 50% or higher teams. They have
doesn't matter.
You just like that. I think the High Company started like 1-6, I want to say, or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Last year they had more victories than anybody did last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And now they went to. It looked like they were crashing, burning. I mean, what do you think happened with them, Clayton?
They got high.
Yeah, exactly.
Were they not high at the beginning of the season? Was that the problem? And then they figured that out?
No, I think someone was giving them bunkweed.
The dirty ditch.
The dirty old ditchweed, you know, they weren't getting good
oregano
concentrates.
Oregano.
Yeah.
They just weren't getting a good buzz. And somewhere about halfway through the season, someone figured out, hey, you know, we could just go up to the fucking store now.
Yeah, it depends where they're at. It might be legal. Yeah, maybe they didn't realize that when they were traveling to all these different teams.
Yeah. So then they were like, wait a minute, we just go to the weed store? Yeah, exactly. Go to the weed store. And they did. and you see the results and the results of the happening.
Well, I hope that whoever they talk to has given them a license. That license is good for a year in most states, and so hopefully that'll get them through the playoffs.
It's recreational now.
Recreational now.
That's true.
We could have gone and won the game, but we weren't high.
Yep, the reverse Afro Man.
Exactly.
I feel bad for the Giant Dragons rookie team. We had the owner on here on Thursday Night Football. Great guy. He was flying high there at the beginning, but then maybe the Dragon got high and it was too much for him.
They had Puff on the team.
Dragon.
So, and Seattle, their musicians kill themselves, so that's what happens there.
What?
Bless you. So here is the playoff picture here. 80s Toy is going to take on that big winner.
He's not wrong.
Hell, like 4 out of 5 of their starting lineup is all dead.
That's why some of their players are blue. So 80s Toys, they get the #1 seed. They're going to play that Mutants Amendments. Jobber, you're going to play Brian, and Brian's known as a really good owner. He's another owner that was in the original season, 2013. What's it going to mean to you when you lose to him? Hard-hitting questions, see?
Hard-hitting question. That sounds like a loaded question.
And great answers as well. But
you know what's loaded? The gun that the amendments are going to use.
You're right.
Kryptonite bullets or whatever they need.
Kryptonite bullets.
They beat me once already this season, so.
So you have some, like, vengeance.
Basically.
I love vengeance. And then the high cup. So we're going to have beer versus weed right up there. And that's a great matchup.
Yeah.
That's a rematch from earlier in the year, too. That was a TFO Sunday night special where we were really high on that game. And because we were celebrating and enduring. Yeah. Like we were watching that game celebrating the fact that the high company was supposed to win over those damn beer gods and Evil Dave's piece of shit team. But that didn't happen. So hopefully this time the right intoxicant. Aha.
Oh, that works too. I liked inebriant. That was good.
Well, Dave, the Beer Gods are the only previous TFO champion on this side of the bracket. They won the Odin Bowl back in season 4, which was like, 2017? So wow. It's been a while since they've gotten a chance, a crack at it, and I know they'd like another one.
They don't need it.
All right, so we're going to talk MVPs, but we got to take a break first. Now, during this break, we went ahead and had the current TFO champion, the Letterkenny Irish, the measuring stick himself, Mike Petrosic, give us a video. It's probably as long and as arrogant as the one we saw from Bobby. So I am so excited to view this. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to be back after this. We're going to talk MVPs. We're going to talk a little fantasy football. And then we're going to kind of get everybody in the room's perspective on what they think is going to happen for the playoffs. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back as soon as I can find the button. There it is. Woo! That's not right either.
No,
I did commercial.
The less things change, the more they remain the same. You know what? That would be a great theme for this season of TFO because it still rings true. Despite the best efforts of a few, and we'll get to that in a second, yours truly, the TFO champion, has won his division yet again and is ready to run rampant through the playoffs. Although, it's not going to be easy. The deck is stacked against me. As far as playoff predictions, it really doesn't matter. What matters is the champ is going to make history and be the only 2-time TFO champion. Back-to-back, too. But it won't be easy. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. But you look at my conference compared to the so-called conference that Bobby and Tim are in. Mighty Ducks, Strudel Squad, Lord of the Rings, Greek Legends, NES Doodads. It is not going to be an easy road for the measuring stick. But that's okay. I'm confident in my team's abilities. But you look at the other hopefully somehow Tim and Bobby cannibalize themselves and some schlub team lucks their way to the finals and I get to play them and I'll stomp them. But whatever. Doesn't matter. What matters is, like I said earlier, despite the best efforts of some, I've won my division. There was collusion. Oh, trust me, there was collusion. When the draft came, I had the first pick in the draft, I believe. Who did I pick? Oh, Mikey Davis, the Greek legends. Couldn't win a game if they paid their opponents to take a dive. But somehow, by some stroke of genius this season, they're a contender. They're dominant. And it has to go to week 17, and I have to beat them to win the division? How did that happen, Bobby? You see, he couldn't do it on his own, Mikey couldn't. And Bobby couldn't pass up an opportunity to try and sabotage me because he wants to be the first two-time winner. It's not enough that he's got the one and only 16-0 season, which trumps my previous record, 15-1. But no, he helps Mikey, tells him what to do, tells him which defensive player to stack, the build to do. Lucky for me, Mikey doesn't pay attention. If you would listen and pick the plays he told you to do, you probably would have ran away with it. But your loss, my gain. So here we are, end of the regular season. Bobby's made history. It's all anyone can talk about. That's okay. I don't mind going under the radar a little bit. 12-4. Cruise in. Probably have some tough matchups, but I got a feeling Daryl is primed for a little condition boost, and he's going to make it work. Maybe Tanis, gets an excellent, is dropping QBs. We'll see. So before I wrap this up, I want to talk to Bobby exclusively. So if you're not Bobby, go make yourself a sandwich. Go fail to impress your wife in bed. I don't know. So I'll give you a minute. Robert, how are you? Congrats on your perfect 16-0 season. That's wonderful. And congrats on almost succeeding in keeping me from winning my division. I hope it's you and me in the finals, so I can yet again embarrass you like I always do when we play. I hope your team makes it, and it is just a drubbing, and I push your shit in. Come to Columbus, have a hot dog with me, and man, I really do. I'm rooting for you, bud, because I want to be the one to break up your perfect season, and I want to be the one that wins this beautiful belt for the second time, and I bring it back with me to Wisconsin for another year. Best of luck to all you. You're going to need it.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael Percocet, for that awesome video. We appreciate you. What do you guys think about the perk, the measuring perk angle of TFO?
I think he's
Traffic.
walking in pretty confident, and I don't know. I don't think he's I don't know. I think he might be in for a rude awakening in the championships this year.
I'm just saying you don't get that jacked without steroids. That's what I'm saying.
He may believe he has a champion's advantage here, but
I
in the
believe
TFO there are no advantages.
I believe in Joe Henry.
There's going to be a team that does not lose a game.
All right, MVPs. So I'm still working on the Pro Bowlers. I will get that out here in the next few weeks. There were some stat issues I had to take into account. This season, there were all kinds of records broken, and it breaks the game in certain ways. Like if a quarterback scores more than 63 touchdowns, it doesn't track it. So then I got to go back and watch all the games that quarterback is in past that to add that to it. That wasn't too bad. That really only happened in the last week of the season. But there were two stats that really affected it. One is how many carries a running back has. It only tracks up to 255. And I think we had somebody with 374. So yeah. Those run teams, they want to run.
Yeah. That was Dexter Doyley.
So no, we'll talk about who it was. Actually, there might be a guy higher than this guy. So the other was returns. I made a big deal about returns being a big deal this year. It was it definitely worked. What do you guys think? How did you feel about the special teams this season with returners and how many touchdowns they were getting?
thought
it
it was
definitely added a level of excitement because at any time during a kick, there were punt returns also that were a lot more punt returns returned for touchdowns.
Records shattered.
It really did kind of make the games more exciting and raise the scores.
Yeah, and it did. It there was quite a few times where it actually felt like, shit, like anything can happen on these punt returns now. It's all about that unpredictability of the games.
Anything can happen.
Yep.
That's what I like. My goal for next season is what we did with returns. I want to do with interceptions. This season we had less interceptions than any other season before. And we had no interception touchdowns. And I think the record for interception touchdowns is like 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I want more dynamic interceptions. I still want passing to be, applicable, but it seems like the secondary is not getting a lot of love.
I think that's a direct result of how the application was this year, and
we can, but now we can weigh it towards how we want to change it like that now. I was happy with the app this year, honestly, but I know some people weren't. Some people, I know what you guys want. You don't want me to group them into their own little groups. You want to be able to just be given an allotment of money and then spend that allotment of money however you guys want. And odds are that's probably what I'm going to do for next season, is do something along that line. But I have a trick up my sleeve for next season. I already know what that trick is. I've been wanting to do this for a while. And it's going to require that anyone that plays TFO next season has to agree the team that they're submitting is going to be used for the next 2 seasons. And you won't be able to change your team next year. Whatever you submitted this year is also going to be what goes into next year. There's a gimmick behind it. There's something that's going to occur it doesn't make sense now. I'll say that. But once it happens, you guys will be like, F you, Raj, we hate you. This is stupid. Why are you doing this to us? And I can't wait.
You're going to give like the lowest scoring team the most points for the year after that?
Maybe, you're, John, I'll say you're in the ballpark.
Oh, all right.
It's if you did bad the first year, then you're getting a benefit into the second year, I guess you could say.
Right, that's what I was thinking. And is the benefit going to outweigh anything else? So do I want to make a completely shit team?
I'll tell you this: the reverse is going to go into action.
Work in the opposite way.
Yes.
Oh. So if you do good,
there's going to be a detriment into the next season for you.
Oh, what the fuck!
So, do I want to make a completely shit team next year?
No.
Apparently.
Because if you make a complete shit team, I'm going to tell you the benefit that you're going to get. It's going to help, but it would help you more. It would benefit you more to have a good team because of the way it's going to work. Man. And I'm also not going to tell you how it's going to work. So you guys are going to
sounds like riddles right here, man.
So you're going to build your team for next year, not knowing what's going to happen the following year.
Okay.
Maybe I randomly assign you guys or maybe we'll do a draft and you guys will get to draft out of all the TFO players that existed in the last season. Maybe it's something like that.
Hey, that'd be kind of sweet.
But I'm going to tell you, people are going to be pissed about it, and that's going to be great.
People are going to be pissed. I'm happy.
Yo, a draft would be like
Raj motto.
John's thinking of the logistics of drafting because he knows how long it takes to do it for fantasy.
That'd be kind of sweet. I am all for this draft idea.
We did that for Blitz. Did you play the season of Blitz where we did that?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, that's why I have Uncle Ruckus on my team in TOL, because I had him on the Armada in Blitz because I drafted him. And who doesn't love Uncle Ruckus? What a quarterback. He's on the assholes right now. Great team. So okay.
I hear he has a new song.
So let's talk MVPs here real quick.
Sing on if you know the words.
Oh man, we had a talk before we came on the air.
I'm glad we're all on the same page,
man. So let's talk the MVPs. I don't have the Pro Bowlers, but I did go ahead and do the MVP so that we could talk about it. And I know the very first MVP Clayton's gonna hate, and that is the offensive MVP for the bad. It is none other than License to Kill's James Bond, quarterback. Hey, look, that team had bad defense. That's how I feel about it. He had more completions than the game registers. He had 222 completions, 75% completion ratio, an astonishing 5,827 pass yards. I think that's like 1,500 more than the nearest quarterback to them.
It's very high.
Yes.
Yeah, because Gandalf, according to what I'm seeing on Weebly, is Gandalf is in second with it.
So the stuff on Weebly right now shows you at the end of week 16. But even that, if he scored, 400 yards and the license to kill got 400 yards, because they probably would have been more even than you'd think. But 64 passing yards, that breaks a game, like I said. But unfortunately, that only ties with Rocky. Rocky Balboa had 64 a few seasons ago. So they get the record as well. But just an astonishing quarterback, honestly. Like, when you look at these numbers, it's just amazing that a quarterback could do this. So congratulations, License to Kill James Bond. I know Clayton's going to be looking at the numbers when they're released, trying to figure out this, because I know he thinks that they're horrible.
I'm going to have to look at this, because there's no way.
They had the best wide receiver.
No way.
They had the best wide receiver in bad as well.
You're telling me the most valuable player.
Yep, in bad. Offensive.
Yep.
The most valuable offensive player in the entire bad.
And we consider MVP as the
was
best
on a
player.
Team that lost more than half of their games.
Yes, he's the best player. It doesn't matter about their record and if they win or lose. It's the performance of the player at that position. That's all that matters. So, the Mad.
Their defense is terrible.
For the Mad, the MVP is going to Battle Cat of the 80s toys. Yes. 374 carries. 4,800 rushing yards, 67 running touchdowns, 74 total touchdowns. I'm pretty sure everything I just named there's a record or close to it, to be honest with you. The Battle Cat, just how they're only 12-4 is beyond me, because I feel like I wish we would have got that undefeated match between Vought International and 80s Toys, but they lost the week before to their brother.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of? What do you think of the Battle Cat?
I think
He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, that's a really good pick for your fantasy team. And yeah, Battle Cat. I mean, you look at the yardage here compared to Homelander on the undefeated Vought International team. That is something really incredible to see. It's just the differential. It's almost doubling it.
Meow. So
yeah, I know Battle Cat was a constant highlight on the Mad recaps on TFO Sunday Night Tecmo, and I knew he was going to have a hell of a season.
Yeah. So defensive-wise, the bad, it's going to be left end Hell God Hades of the Greek Legends. 44 sacks, the most sacks out of all the leagues, and it really put them in contention with Letterkenny going head-to-head. Greek Legends, Mikey's been with us in Season 1 as well, 2013. He gets a lot of disrespect from all these new owners. I think they were saying things like he overperformed and stuff like that. I think him and one of my favorite players of all time, Barry God Sanders, I think they have a lot to prove, and Hell God really helped with that. Mad, the Mad defensive player, is also from the 80s Toys. It's their left end, Thundercats. 38 sacks, the most in Mad. And just the offense and defense just clicking there for the 80s Toys. There haven't been a lot of owners that have had both the offensive and defensive MVPs, but they join an illustrious class. I believe, Jobber John Mann, you were in that class as well. If I remember correctly, I believe you had a season where you had two Marvel Mutants, go Wolverine and somebody else.
Thor.
So how's it feel when you dominate like that?
I didn't dominate.
I
ended up losing in the...
Oh, so there's maybe a curse behind it. You know what? I don't know if there is any owner that got both of them that ever won the championship. That's a good question.
That's true. I think that was the first year, wasn't it?
You were the first person to do it back-to-back. I think you did it season 2 or 3. But you did have offensive and defensive MVP together in the same season.
Yep.
All right, special teams. This was the year of the returner. And in the bad, the best returner returned both kicks and punts, and that's everybody's favorite guy, not Raj. Not
That makes sense,
so
honestly.
joining
I don't know how many
illustrious
times we said that
players
dude's
like
name.
Fuck the
Yeah.
Raj, and Raj is a pussy, not Raj. He had 2,566 kick return yards, 8 kick return touchdowns, where the previous record was 7. And that's not even the record. I think someone had 10 this season, honestly. But he had also punt returns. He 763 punt return yards and 3 punt return touchdowns. So 11 return touchdowns total. I don't like his name, but I appreciate his skill and ability for the Strudel squad. Say
Yeah,
something nice about the Strudel squad, guys.
Those returns were insane. Honestly, like I remember there was some difficulty telling apart not Raj from Can't Stop the Raj.
I know it's bullshit.
It's
But it wasn't Raj.
it's the two twins. Like it's that standoff where you have the gun pointed at one of them, but you don't know which one's the real twin.
It's the Spider-Man meme.
It's the Spider-Man meme. Just Raj
The
and not Raj
dreadlock
pointing at
twins
each
in
other like,
Matrix.
Wow. Well, let's talk about the Matt. And I know this is a player that both Clayton and Jobber know a lot about. This is punt return, kick returner Stella Artois. 2,079
Lucky
kick return
Stella.
yards, 10 kick return touchdowns, 1 punt return touchdown. You guys have felt these touchdowns.
Bullshit.
Evil Dave can suck it.
Bullshit. Oh my God. And the Beer Gods, another championship team, adding to their illustrious record, another MVP for the books. Oh, I miss Lefindumande, the Dominator. He was a running back. He was so beautiful.
Way better than that shitty Stella.
Well, Stella getting,
Stunk beer.
Stella getting an MVP nod. Gotta like it. Or
good job,
respect it.
Stella Artois.
He used to misspell it, and I know.
Toys.
By the way, I absolutely have to point out that there is no rogue dead guy in the TFO, and there never has been.
Rogue Dead Guy was definitely
Rogue dead guy has never existed in the TFO.
No, there's sometimes it's ROUGE and sometimes it's ROGUE. Is that what you're complaining about?
ROUGE doesn't spell rogue. It spells rouge. So Rouge Dead Guy and Rogue Dead Guy are two different.
I take what's on the app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming Evil Dave.
Well, let's talk fantasy football real quick. I don't have all the numbers in front of me or anything, but I am aware of the winner. Yeah. I think we all know who ended up winning the TFO. It actually was...
It's me. Thank you, Raj. I'll go ahead and accept my championship and to let you know just exactly what I'm going to put on the blimp.
Wait. Oh, my gosh. I just pulled the numbers here. And I'm sorry to say, Clayton, but it looks like you got edged out.
What?
By not just Bobby, but by Jobber as well.
Oh, bullshit.
No. Clayton's in third place.
I show Bobby won with 7,400 points, Jobber in second with 6,800 points, and Clayton in third with 6,700 points.
Damn, that one took a reverse too.
Well, there's no prize for second here. You don't get to name half the blimp. Wow. It doesn't work that way. So Bobby, congratulations. You had a dominant, Jobber was leading early on. Clayton started to overtake a little bit, and then Bobby shifted into a different gear. And Bobby will get, not only is he undefeated, but now he'll get to name the blimp for season 13. Will it be an unlucky season? I guess we'll find out.
Should we just call it Season Bobby?
The Bobby season?
The Bobby season.
Bobby season.
Maybe that's the gimmick, see? See, you submit your season for season 1, and then the Bobby season starts after that where he gets to mess with your app.
It's the Bobby Bowl.
I am totally paying him to put reverse on the blimp.
Oh my God.
Reverse!
Vider National 16-0 is apparently going to be on the blimp next season.
Hey, yeah, The one year it was Fenrar dove because in the Super Bowl the player Fenrar dove for the ball and missed it, and that's why the guy won the championship, and he got to do the blimp. So all year it was Fenrar dove on the blimp. Oh, good times.
Wow.
All right, well, let's talk the playoff predictions here. I'm going to pull up the playoff picture. It's so small. I'm going to enlarge it. Boom, that's what Blue Chew does.
My tired eyes. Hell, thank you.
I know this lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, and I'm so hot, so I'm glad it's almost... I enjoy your company, though, gentlemen. Thank you for being here on this professional panel.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting.
And this is the whole playoff picture here. This is the big deal. This is what we're going to see. So I thought it'd be nice to take a moment. We can go around and talk about where we think people are going to land. Here, I'll go first, for example. So up there in the bad, Ballers versus Irish. I already told you, I think the Ballers are pitching out of their league a little bit just based on how their division worked out. So I can see Letterkenny moving on to that divisional round. The wild card game, Strudel versus Legends. I agree with the panel from earlier. I think this is a coin flip. But, oh man, it's really a coin flip because the Legends have an MVP in Hellgod, Hades, where Squad has an MVP with their returner. But I'm going to go with the Squad because it has CantStopTheRaj on it. I'm an egomaniac. I got to win it all, right? And I think the Squad versus the Ducks would be a better matchup, honestly, from a promoter standpoint, because Strudel, he's like the ultimate Mighty Ducks fan. So I think that would be great. And even though I'm an egotist, I think the Ducks are going to win that matchup and go on to face the Letterkenny Irish. And then the Quack Quack attack, they're going to prove their worth. And they're going to take down the previous TFO champions, the Irish. And we're going to get the Ducks in that bad bowl. And in the championship match, they're going to face off against, whoever's on the right side there. Let's stop there. I've got the Ducks on the left side. Zav, what do you got on the badass?
On the badass, I'm going along with Letterkenny Irish. I mean, the champs, I think, are going to prove... I think I got predictions for later on, but I think the champs are going to prove this side of the bracket. They are still the champs, after all. You know? So I think Letterkenny Irish taking out the Ballers. I think Greek Legends are going to take out Strudel Squad. And I think Mighty Ducks are going to take out the Greek Legends. We're going to get Letterkenny Irish versus Mighty Ducks going into that fight or into that section right there. Letterkenny Irish.
So we're agreement into the Ass Championship. We just don't agree on who's winning the Ass Championship.
We don't agree on the winner of the Ass Championship, but also on who's going to win that wild card right there.
I mean, I like the Ass Championship better. All the other details, right? Clayton, what do you got?
Well, I'm gonna agree with the panel on the Irish over the Ballers. That seems like a pretty much given. I'm gonna go with the Legends over the Squad too. I think the Greek Legends pull this out. I don't only think they pull it out over the Strudel Squad. I think they pull it out over the Ducks, and they give us an Irish Legends rematch in the Ass Championship.
The fourth matchup of the season.
Irish win it again.
That would be their fourth time facing off.
Correct.
And who's winning the Ass Championship then?
I think the Irish take it again and go on to the bed.
So we got 2 Irish, 1 Ducks. So Jobber, what do you think? Who's winning the Ass Championship?
I feel like the only 2 teams in this bracket right here are the Legends and the Ducks.
Wow.
The Ducks are going to beat the Legends, and the Ducks are going to make the Bad Bowl.
Yeah, so we got 2 Ducks and 2 Irish. Interesting.
Anything can happen.
All right, let's go to the bad guy side here. So Doodads to Kill. I'm a big NES fan, so I really like the Doodads gimmick. But after looking at James Bond's numbers and everything, I can't imagine To Kill would lose this matchup. So I think 007 wins up there. The wild card matchup there with the Cinema versus the Gladiators. I think the Gladiators have had a great second half of the season, and Cinema coming in with a losing record. It's very rare for a losing record team to win a game. It's only ever happened once by one team. So the Gladiators, I think, win this, and then you get the Gladiators rings. And I think in an upset, the Gladiators takes down Lord of the Rings, and it'll be To Kill versus the Gladiators there in that Guy Championship. And the Gladiators, just like last season, top 4 get taken out. And I think To Kill will be our bad guy champions. So let's start with Zav. Zav, what do you think about this side of the bracket?
You know, as you were mentioning License to Kill's numbers and everything like that, I originally went into it thinking Doodads were going to take out License to Kill, but you know what? I think I might have to agree with you.
Ooh, I swayed you.
Yeah, I think
Patrick
License to Kill might take them out. But I don't agree with you on the Gladiators taking out Villains of Cinema. I think Villains of Cinema might squeak one out there in the wild card battle and then get taken out by the Lord of the Rings, who the Lord of the Rings are going to walk into the bad guy champ section, and I think they're going to take out License to Kill, face off against Letterkenny Irish in the Bad Bowl.
Oh, so we got one for Lord of the Rings. Clayton, what is your take?
Well, neither License to Kill nor Villains of Cinema belong in the playoffs. But since they're there, they should lose terribly. So I got the Doodads over the Bond team. I got the Gladiators over Cinema. I think the Lord of the Rings probably pull it out over the I really think the Gladiators do have a shot at upsetting the Lords of the Rings, though. But if I am a betting man, I think the Lords of the Rings take it and go on to the Bad Bowl.
Yeah.
And are they? Oh, so they're beating the Doodads too. So this is the second one for Lord of the Rings. Jobber, what's your take here, man?
So I'm pretty sure Bond's gonna beat the Doodads. Pretty sure the Gladiators are gonna beat Cinema. Rings are gonna beat the Gladiators, and the Rings are probably gonna beat Bond.
Yeah. So I'm the odd man. Most of us agree To Kill's making that Guy Championship, but it's 3-1 that the Rings are going to be in that Bad Bowl. So that would mean the Bad Bowl, for my Bad Bowl, is going to be Ducks versus 007. And I think the Ducks are going to win that Bad Bowl and go to the TFO Championships. I think that they've been just such an amazing team, a great, just not just the idea, but how people have gravitated towards them because of their theme. And that's why a good theme is important. So I'm behind the Ducks. Clayton, or wait, Zav first. Yep. Zav, what do you got? You had what? Irish taking on the Rings?
Letterkenny Irish versus Lord of the Rings, and I think in Letterkenny Irish, I think they're gonna. I think it'll be a very close game, but I don't know if Lord of the Rings.
2 years in a row, you're saying Letterkenny's going to the championship.
I think so.
All right, Clayton.
Well, my picks also have the Irish in the Rings in the Bad Bowl. But I don't think the Irish make it through. I think Gandalf says, "You shall not pass," and the Lords of the Rings go to the TFO Championship.
Ah, wow. So we got Ducks, Irish, and Lord of the Rings. So Jobber, I think you're going to be the tiebreaker. Who did you have in the finals? The Ducks against the Rings?
I think we're gonna quack all the way to the championship.
Yeah, we got 2 for the Quacks.
Very nice.
The Ducks. The pro panel has spoken. And in the Mad, let's do the Mad Dog here. For me, Knights versus Stallions. Oh, Cocaine Mule Cat. What a player. I love him so much. But man, this last half for the Italian Stallions has been really good. This is another coin flip, I feel like. But I'm going to go with the Stallions. In the wild card, we got the Garbage Pail Bunch taking on the Shitza. And I think the Bunch have had a bad second half, but I feel like they were starting to shake it off a little bit at the end there. Leahy was lucky to make it to this round of the playoffs, and he's going to get drunk and fumble it. So I'm going to go with the Bunch. That means Bunch takes on Vought International. I really believe that Silver Fox and his Garbage Pail Bunch are one of the few teams that could potentially take out Vought International. I think the Shitza are another one, honestly. So I think this wild card matchup for them is very, very risky. I'm still going with Vought International. And then the Stallions taking on Vought International. I want to go with the Stallions. I do. I'm for an underdog story. But Vought International has been so dominant at this point. I'm going to say Vought International in that Mad Dog Championship. So let's take it to Zav. What do you think about the Mad Dog?
It's not too different than what you're saying here. And once again, Sunday nights, I want Sunday nights to win that match against Stallions. Like, in my heart, it's that whole team is just so, I love the gimmick. I love everything about, like, I just love the names. I think they're some of the funniest player names in the whole
universe.
Roster. The whole TFU.
Well, they're not our fans. They're the universe.
The universe. But yeah, and but I feel like the Italian Stallions are going on to the dog championship. When it comes down to the Garbage Pail Bunch and Shitz-a-Leahy, I think Garbage Pail Bunch are going to go and pull it off. I really do. And then ultimately, Vault International are going to take out Garbage Pail Bunch and then walk right back into the Mad Bowl as they take out the Italian Stallions as well.
So Bobby, undefeated right now, 2-0 on this pro panel. Clayton, what's your take?
A very, very kind of similar story here. However, I am going to break with the rest of the panel and do believe that the Sunday Knights can get it done over the Italian Stallions. The Rocky team they've got a few guys that underperform in big spots. So
will Rocky Balboa be back? That's something we didn't really talk about. He's injured.
One last message
that's
for
correct.
all of you. Eat
yes,
at
boss.
the Federal.
Eat at the Federal, or Boz Rutan will punch you in the liver, and you do not want that.
That's a kill
Google
shot.
Google it. Like, guys just crumble after a punch in the liver from Boz Rutan. It's
My
great.
liver's not too good to begin with, so.
But yeah, so Knights over Stallions. We're gonna go Garbage Pail Bunch over the Shits. I think the shit bum gets too drunk, can't perform. But then yeah, Vault International all the way to the Mad Bowl after that.
3-0 for the Vault International here. Jobber, is it a clean sweep?
Of course it is. So the Stallions are probably going to beat the Knights. Garbage Pail Bunch will beat Shitz-a-Leahy. International's going to the championship.
4-0. Bobby still undefeated. Will this be his Cinderella story? Well, the Mad Max may have something to say about that. I'll go first. We got the epic beer versus weed confrontation there. That's going to be a matchup in itself. I'm so excited for it. The beer gods, they've been there before. They know what it takes to win. They have an MVP on their side. And sometimes the high company is great. Sometimes it's not. The quality is just too varying for me. And so I think the beer gods take them out. The mutants taking on the Second Amendments here. Oh man, this is like, the mutants have had like a very roller coaster season, I feel. Professor X has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but so has the Second Amendment's quarterback. And I think that the Second Amendments take Jobber out and they'll face off against the 80s toys, where the 80s toys then take the whole max. They not only beat the Second Amendments, but they beat the beer gods, and then they go into the Mad Bowl, and it'll be Vought International versus 80s Toys, that big matchup we had in Week 10 that was supposed to be undefeated versus undefeated, and we didn't get that. I think 80s Toys, remember, that loss is when 80s Toys started to lose some of their games, and they got a lot to prove, I feel, for that. Zav, what do you feel?
I'm agreeing with you on High Company versus Beer Gods. I think Beer Gods are going to pull it off and go into the Max Championship. However, I'm going to disagree with you on Marvel Mutants versus the Second Amendments. I'm sending some good vibes over to Jobberman. Hopefully the Mutants are going to pull off a good win against Second Amendments and go on to face off against the 80s Toys. There, I think the 80s Toys will go on to the
Here's
Mad
your
Max
luck, but it
Championship,
runs
though.
out.
Yeah. But Beer Gods versus 80s Toys. Yeah, you just said it. 80s Toys were running hot. Lost a couple games after that one loss, their first loss. But I think, once again, we're going to get that Toys versus International. We're going to get the rematch, and it's actually going to be this time for the Mad Bowl.
Yeah. All right, so we got 2 for Toys. Clayton, how you feeling about this?
Well, I feel like the High Company has been on cloud 9 the last few weeks. I think they're going to keep that going and be able to overcome Evil Dave's Beer Gods. in this rematch from earlier in the season. Now, Marvel Mutants Second Amendments, I do see that as kind of a toss-up, but I'm going to give that one to the amendments. But then the toys will take them out because the toys offense is insane. Here's where it gets a little crazy because I think the high company is going to pull the underdog route.
Oh, the upset.
The 80s toys to go into the Mad Bowl.
Interesting. Breaking from the panel, saying the Mad Max champion is going to be the high company. So that leads us to Jobber John Mann. Jobber, what do you think of the Mad Max?
All right. So here's what is going to happen over here.
Perfect.
So the beer gods are going to beat the high company.
All right.
The mutants are going to beat the amendments.
Oh, okay.
And then the mutants are going to beat the fucking toys.
Oh my God.
And we are going to see game number 4 between the beer gods and the mutants.
Ooh, man,
where
that
the
looks
mutants
good on paper.
are going to take out the beer gods and play against the international.
Hell yeah.
Wow. So we've got 2 toys, 1 THC, and 1 Marvel Mutant. So for me, it's going to be, we all have VOT International on the left. We have different ones on the right. VOT International taking on 80s toys. Oh, man. It's going to be such a close game. I really do feel that. 80s toys, I think, ultimately has a better team, but VOT International has gotten so lucky at times. But I'm going to go with the 80s toys for one reason, and there's this thing in Tecmo where when you start winning a bunch of games in a row, the games end up getting harder and harder. And that's only supposed to be for the human players against computer, but I feel like there's still something in there. Something about the game it knows, and it's going to make it difficult for VOT International, and I think Battle Cat, along with Thundercats, 2 MVPs.
Emotional damage.
Sorry, Bobby. I'm going with Tim. He's got the bulging biceps and that soothing voice. So
have some
more
there's tea. Have the sweet tea.
So I go with 80s toys for the Mad Bowl.
For the TFO
Oh man, there's so much happening
this is
now.
Our season.
Zav, what do you think?
I'm going to go and say VOT International. And the reason I'm going to say that is because one big thing that can happen with these tournament plays is injuries. Injuries can go and happen. So I'm thinking when it comes to VOT International, even with injuries and like the replacement players, they're still a very tough team to beat. I'm going VOT International against 80s Toys.
Hey, Strudel, I know you just got here, so I want to let you know you won an MVP this season, not Raj. Special teams. He's the MVP for that league. So congratulations. I saw him coming in with the butt chug. So speaking of butt chugs, Clayton, what's your feeling here about the Mad Max?
Well, like I said, I've got VOT International against THC in the Mad Bowl. And for very much the same reasons you listed as far as the consecutive wins and things getting harder, I think the THC is going to make it to the TFO championship.
Damn, you're going with the high. So they're the time variance authority of this season is what you're thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Super upset.
Damn.
I think the fact that they clinched this division from last place to first in the last week of the season, they're going to ride that momentum as far as they can.
There's John Cena.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am, Sir Mysterious Voice, I did not see where that came from.
I prayed for this and it happened.
Let us pray. So, oh man, we all got different picks here then. VOT International got one, 80s Toys got one, The High Company got one. So Jobber has International undefeated against his Marvel Mutants. Jobber, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking we're about to hand International their first loss of the season.
Damn.
Nice.
Damn. So Marvel Mutants. So for my Ramu Bowl, that's the Season 12 Championship, August 10th, live at 16-Bit Bar and Arcade. It'll post on the 11th for you guys on the interwebs. For me, I got... No! Bobby, you better be... Oh, well, I shouldn't say you better be there. I mean, he's usually there. But he's driving a far time, so I don't know how that all worked for him. I know if he's in that championship, he'll definitely be there, hell or high water. So for me, I've got the Ducks taking on 80s Toys. And that is such an interesting matchup for me. I think that any 80s kid, I mean, the Ducks were in the 90s, but that generation of kids right there, oh man, Mighty Ducks and Toys, oh, that's pretty cool. And as one of those kids, I appreciate that matchup. And I have loved the Ducks. I think the 80s Toys has a better team. So I should go with the 80s Toys. But damn it, I'm going to support the Quack Quack attack. And I'm saying the Ducks win the championship and bring the belt home to 110 West Federal, Youngstown, Ohio, because the Federal is the real winner, damn it. Zav, what do you think?
I am gonna go. So in my predictions, I have Letterkenny Irish versus Vaught International, and I am going Vaught International. It's the Steiner said it, man. Numbers don't lie, and Vaught International has the numbers that prove it.
And your prediction here, I want to make sure you understand what kind of epic prediction you're making here, because that would put 2 previous TFO champions in the final, which has never happened. And those are the last 2 years. So we're talking New England, Tom Brady legacy here on the line, where one of them would walk out the first 2-time TFO champion.
Yeah, I'm absolutely making that.
As the possibility of Irish being the first repeat.
Give somebody else.
Nobody's ever done 2. So they would do 2 and back-to-back. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that call. I'm gonna say it. If Vaught International wins it against Letterkenny Irish.
Wow, Bobby gets the belt back in his. He lost it last year to the Irish, and then he takes it back, is what you're saying. Wow, Clayton, what are you thinking?
Well, with the Lord of the Rings versus the High Company in what is my TFO championship.
Oh man, all the hobbits are smoking.
All the hobbits and Gandalf all smoked the pipe weed. And I think the Lord of the Rings take the TFO championship.
They take that puff puff.
You shall not puff.
Hey,
you shall not pass. You shall not puff puff pass.
There's nothing scarier than a hobbit that's high. So
they're going into way past third breakfast.
Oh my God! So you are all behind the High Company, but you think that they make it there, but they can't spark the bowl they need.
Unfortunately, no. I think the Lord of the Rings are just a bad matchup for him.
All right, and so that brings us to Jobber. John, you have, if I remember correctly, the Ducks taking on the Marvel Mutants. Is that right?
You're damn right it is.
So this would be your second time going to the championship, but never winning.
Correct.
And is this now the time?
I think so. 37-24 Mutants.
37. He's even doing a number.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow. He's calling his shot.
He must have his TFO PayPal linked. You know what I'm saying? And ready.
That's a pretty homer pick is what it is.
Well, he already showed me who wins.
Look, well, it's funny.
He sends the payments in now.
It's funny because I haven't recorded any of those games yet, so I don't know how I told him who wins. Oh, man. I have to admire John. Look, you have to believe in your team. And he's saying he believes in his team. So I believe in Joe Hendry. Right. And if Jobber can believe in himself as much as I believe in Joe Hendry, then damn it, maybe he can do it.
I think that's kind of the thing when you got your team, when your team is in the playoffs, you have to put all your nuts in the basket, don't you?
Yep. 100%.
Wow. Yep. So let's see here. Let's recap. I said Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
Zav said Vaught International. Clayton said the Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
And Jobber said the Marvel Mutants.
Mm-hmm.
What a 4. I think any of those games that we listed off would be epic epics.
Absolutely.
Bum Potion number 9. Did it play the Bum Potion?
Yeah, I played it.
Okay. Good. Oh my God, this lasted a lot longer than I thought it was, and I wasn't prepared, so this all worked out pretty good. Where
somebody else Scarface for once.
Oh, it's too big now.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
That's what she
too
said.
Much blue chew.
Too much blue chew.
Stop.
I gotta sleep it off. Oh,
Postseason.
hey, I got Moyer over in the YouTube. He said after defeating the Stallions, the Ford F-150 will crash and burn. Steve will climb out of the wreckage and bring us to victory over VOD.
I love it.
I would love nothing more than Steve to just win the championship through Sunday nights. That would be so epic.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you Sunday night. I think we all said that too. Like we all love the Sunday nights. We're all rooting for them. So, but some of these nerds, oh my God, they just live and breathe the ROM. Oh man. So, well, I would like to go ahead and thank our professional panel here. King Zavarel, thank you so much. I appreciate your work on Thursday Night Football this season. I think we'll be able to work out something for next season, depending on what the shows are and all that. And I think I've talked to you a little bit about maybe being available on Saturdays to commentate some of these playoff games. But tell people what you're up to and what's going on with you.
Well, not much. Starting a new game coming up tomorrow on my over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/King Zavarel. You can go check me out playing Horror Tales The Beggar, starting tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah.
Woo! You guys should like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you got to do to King Zavarel. Hit his bell. Hit him right in the bell.
That sounds like a euphemism.
Next season, are you bringing back Lords of Cinder, or are you going to go with something else? Do you know yet?
Next season, I will be going with something else. I will not be doing Lords of Cinder again. I
put
might
him in the
even
fire, right?
What was that?
You're going to put him in the fire.
I'm gonna light them up. I'm gonna burn them out. They did not pass.
They did not pass. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Clayton. Thank you and Jobber for doing the Sunday Night Tecmo. That's live on our Discord. If you guys aren't part of our Discord, definitely request access and we can give it to you. That's not a problem. And we do a game exclusively through there that's not fit for human consumption. That's why it must be destroyed and deleted afterwards. So I do appreciate that you guys helped participate and you had teams. I'm just sorry that you didn't make the playoffs just like Zav, and unfortunately Jobber did.
Wait, I didn't make the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, did you just find that out?
I did?
You did.
Come on.
You did. So, do you guys have any? You guys don't stream, so I don't know what you would promote. Do you have something to promote?
Hookers and blow.
Woohoo!
I mean, the views of the guests of TFO do not hold the same values as TFO themselves. Although we do have teams that have that.
I mean, while I'm not against hookers and blow, I wouldn't exactly advertise all that. Yeah, no, we don't stream. This was the last week of the TFO show for Sunday night, so we may end up commentating some playoff games. That's to be determined yet.
If you guys are interested, my plan is to do them on Saturdays at like 10 a.m. until they're done. And I think it's going to be 2 to 4 hours, depending on how many games are. The wild card's definitely only going to be 2 hours because there's only 4 games, and that's half hour a game, I figure. So, but Saturdays for the next 3 weeks, I think it is, it's going to be 10 a.m. and that's going to start playoff. That's going to be next Saturday, and that'll be the wild card round to begin. So maybe you guys will be on, maybe not. If you're not, I appreciate you, and I hope you can make the championship because I know you're both local. We'll have Zav on a little like iPad or something on a robot.
FaceTime.
Everyone's got to show up for the bowl because Clayton's got to sing stuff.
Send me your mask, and I'll just put it on somebody else and be like, "Yeah, this is Zav."
It's just do what I do with a Jushin Thunder vacuum. Just throw my face on a vacuum.
I have a vacuum that looks like Justin. It's Jushin. I'm sorry. So yeah, I could put your mask on it. No one would know the difference.
Perfect.
Just
tape it on there, son.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm hot and I got to piss. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody watching this either on VOD or live. And we will be back on Saturday, 10 a.m. for the start of the playoffs. And we will see you this Tecmo. Have a good night, guys.
Later.